Hey there, my name is Doster Andrew Lake, and what you're about to listen to is a preview from my audiobook, Stoic Experiencing, a synopsis for sex, love, life, and soul. You can listen to the full-length audiobook on my channel. Head on over and leave me a comment, share it with your friends, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.
Chapter 41. Perception Dynamics and Eye Contact Dynamics. When it comes to perception techniques, there is only so much I can describe and explain within the format in which we find ourselves here. It would be much better if you and I could meet in person and I could just show you the techniques. But until that day comes, I don't mind describing a few things just to entice your appetite. Some notes on leaf gazing and perception dynamics. Leaf gazing, which is a cousin of candle gazing, is one of the most direct and effective paths I have found into perception expansion. Your exploration may look something like this. Sitting in a garden, in a comfortable chair, find a leaf to focus your sight upon. It is best if you find one that is slightly above the center of your field of vision, so you are looking directly forward and slightly upwards. To warm up with some centering exercises, experiment with moving your head to the left and to the right, upwards and downwards, while keeping your eyes fixed upon the leaf. You will notice certain strains in your eye sockets, face, neck, and even on down to your back and pelvis. As you move, gradually slow the pace of movement to help deepen your centering. Next, you may wish to explore the area of the leaf. You may trace the outline, notice its spots and textures, how the light falls upon it. Notice how it blows in the wind and how it is for your eyes to follow it as it does so. If your perception is lacking to a certain degree of sharpness, you will find that looking at the leaf causes spasms in the eyes. Your mind will have all sorts of reactions, throwing all sorts of distractions at you. If you are strong enough to maintain your gaze, your perception will sharpen and your sense of sight will change as your mind becomes quiet. It is a great example of how the mind is a useful servant, but a terrible master. It is also a telling indication of how much perception ability you have as to how difficult it is for you to simply sit down and look at a leaf. From here, with a basic amount of sharpness and a decent amount of determination to continue looking at the leaf, a whole host of perception experiences will unfold. For one, you will be learning the exact experiential difference between thinking and looking out your eyes. For another, you will be seeing the difference between looking with a relaxed gaze, looking with a piercing gaze, looking with an open gaze, and looking while your eyes are watery and blurry, as well as many other ways of looking. And that is a fundamental insight you will discover again and again, that looking out your eyes is never just looking out your eyes. You will notice the sounds and the spaces of the environment, and how your sense of sight is connected with your sense of hearing. You will notice the difference between looking out your eyes and sensing the feelings in your body, which can be quite spooky when you sense the feeling in your eyes. If you continue deeper into the exercise, you will have a series of breakthroughs and shifts that change your experience of perception to something new entirely. The area within your field of vision that is in focus will start to expand. You will see light and dark as polar opposites that you can focus on individually. You will see movement and stillness as polar opposites. You will notice that you can look around your field of vision at the different things you can see while keeping your eyes pointed straight forwards at the leaf. In other words, you will have a difference between seeing and where your eyes are looking. When this series of breakthroughs and shifts in perception have happened, there is every chance you will reach a new depth. At this point, your depth of vision will collapse, and everything that was out of focus will come into focus. It's quite abstract to imagine, but when this happens, every leaf in the garden, and indeed everything in your field of vision, all at once looks as though it is all at the same distance to you, and it is all in sharp focus. You will also experience a collapse of your sense of direction in your vision. To describe this in another way, it's like, up until now, you have been experiencing your vision as if there is you with your head pointing your eyes outwards, as if they were windows looking out onto the world. Now, with this new breakthrough, it's as if the whole world is simply there and you are everywhere. It is the dissolution of self through perception. It takes quite a bit of practice to experience the collapse of depth of field with both eyes open at once. There is a shortcut to this experience where you may gaze at the leaf with just one eye to create a similar kind of effect. As with all breakthroughs, a breakthrough in perception can lead to all sorts of insights, realizations, and new ways of experiencing. If you reach the depths I have described here, you will never be the same again in the way you look out your eyes. Perception is one of the doorways to higher awareness. It is always there to be explored, hiding in plain sight, and I'm not sure if that is a pun or not. Aldous Huxley almost had it right when he named his book The Doors of Perception. A more accurate title may have been Perceptions Are the Doors, but that title doesn't have quite the same ring to it. A few notes on eye contact dynamics. Along with candle gazing and leaf gazing, eye contact dynamics have many things to be discovered and explored. It is best to practice with a tantra partner or intimate partner, as it can be quite invasive. You will notice there is a difference between looking into one of your partner's eyes as to looking into the other. Conversely, you will notice you look out one of your eyes more than the other. You may come to learn which of your eyes is more dominant. You can also experiment with having different distances between you and your partner as you eye gaze. Closer distances bring more alertness, as is a natural reaction to your perceptions when something enters your personal space. But too close, and you will turn cross-eyed, which has its own dynamics. You may also find a distance that is just right for your left eye to look into your partner's right eye, and your right eye to look into your partner's left eye. This is a kind of gazing that is centralized as such that you are seeing both sides of them at once, an experience that has many metaphorical implications. Eye contact from a further distance has its own flavor again, especially if there are other people in the room. Because of how perception works and how the social sphere works, you are generally accepted to only look at the few people who are in your most immediate vicinity. Looking beyond these people and making eye contact with someone can be interpreted to mean all sorts of things. Perhaps most commonly, it is seen as a sign of aggression, particularly in the case of making eye contact with someone you are not acquainted with. But if you can make eye contact with your intimate partner from across the room, a curious little game can start up. It is a game of trading messages back and forth without words. It is the communicating of secrets, of telepathy, of unspoken in-jokes and silent compliments. The colloquial term for such games is eye sex, and it can be an incredible delight. But like so many things we are discussing here, eye contact dynamics cannot be put into a system or textbook series of descriptions of what to expect. It is far better for you to go ahead and explore these things for yourself.